Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Buddha Affirmation. Here every story has a purpose and every lesson is meant to help you grow in a life. So let's dive into a new story that will teach us a deep lesson about not worrying about the results. So let's start the story. Long time ago, nestled in a small valley at the foot of the mighty Himalayas, lived two friends named Vishnu and Buddha. Vishnu and Buddha had grown up together, and their bond was so strong, like brothers. Although their lives took different directions, their friendship was as close as ever. Vishnu was a hard-working farmer who believed deeply in the value of sweat and efforts. Every day, he was out in the fields from dawn till dusk, cultivating his land and producing a modest but satisfying harvest. He took pride in the rich green crops that he had nurtured through his dedicated labor. But there was always a shadow over his joy, a constant worry about things he could not control. Each year brought new problems. Sometimes drought threatened his crops, and other times flood would wash away years of hard work. These worries always haunted Vishnu, no matter how much effort he put in. He was always anxious about what might happen next. On the other hand, Buddha lived a life that was entirely different. Buddha was thoughtful, quiet, and had a natural calmness about him. He spent his days meditating, seeking inner peace, and exploring life's spiritual depth. His home was a small hut by the edge of the forest, where he lived with the bare necessities. For Buddha, happiness was not something to be found outside, but something to be discovered within. He had let go of most of his worldly needs and found peace in simplicity and self-reflection. One day, after a particularly rough season, Vishnu decided to visit Buddha. He walked over to Buddha's little hut, feeling a need to share the thought that had been weighing on him. When he arrived, he found Buddha sitting peacefully, lost in meditation. Vishnu waited patiently until Buddha opened his eyes, greeted him with a warm smile, and invited him to share what was on his mind. And then Vishnu said, "Buddha, you always seem so peaceful and happy. I have never seen you worrying or struggling. I work hard every day and still I am constantly stressed about the future and whether my efforts will be enough. How do you manage to stay so calm?" Buddha smiled gently and looked at his friend thoughtfully and replied, "Vishnu, I admired your hard work truly. But have you wondered if maybe it is not the hard work that causes your restlessness, but your constant worrying about the results? Your mind is always racing, thinking about what might happen and the things you can't control. But peace is not about controlling the outcome. It is about accepting that some things are beyond your reach." Vishnu looked a bit confused and asked, "But if I don't worry about the outcome, how will I know if my hard work will pay off?" Buddha took a deep breath and motioned toward a small tree nearby. "See this tree, Vishnu. Stand here quietly, drawing nourishment from the earth and water. When the time comes, it blooms and bears fruits. But the tree is not worried about when the fruit will come or if the season will be perfect. It just does its part and leave the rest to nature. In the same way, your job is to work hard, but let go of the worry about the results." Vishnu thought about Buddha's words, but still struggled to understand how it could work in his own life. And then he replied, "That sounds nice, Buddha. But if I don't think about the results, won't I lose my motivation to work hard?" Buddha gave a gentle smile and explained further, "True motivation does not come from result. It comes from the act itself. When you do something with full focus and care, that act becomes almost sacred. If you start viewing this task as a part of your life purpose, you won't need any extra motivation. The joy of work itself will keep you going." Then Buddha shared a story with Vishnu to explain his point. There was once a monk who would sit and meditate by the riverside every day. One day, as he meditated, The river's current grew stronger, and he noticed a small empty boat floating downstream. The monk thought that the boat could save someone's life, so he put in a lot of effort to bring the boat to the shore. But once he managed to reach it, he found boat was broken and could not be used at all. At first, he felt like all his hard work had been wasted, but over time, he came to realize that the act of trying was more important than the results. The effort itself was his true duty and not whether the boat was useful or not. Vishnu listened carefully and he felt something start to shift within him. He realized that his worry about the future was keeping him from enjoying his present and appreciating the work he did every day. But letting go of the results entirely still felt challenging. Over the next few days, Vishnu tried to put Buddha's advice into practice. He worked in his field with the same dedication but tried to keep his mind from drifting to worries about the outcome. As he focused more on each moment, he began to find a sense of peace he had not experienced before. The soil under his hands, the sun warming his back, the simple joy of planting each seed, all of it became meaningful in a new way. With time, Vishnu realized that his worries about good or bad harvest were not as important as the sense of fulfillment he found in the work itself. Whether his crops flourished or struggled, he was no longer haunted by anxiety about the future. His heart felt lighter and his mind grew calmer. Months later, he returned to visit Buddha with a peaceful smile on his face. Vishnu said with gratitude, "Buddha, now I understand. Real peace comes from within. Life will always have uncertainties. But if I focus on the work itself and let go of the results, life feels simpler and more joyful." Buddha smiled and said, "Yes, my friend, that is one of life's greatest truths. When we live in the present, truly experiencing each moment and letting go of the need to control every outcome, that is when we find true peace." This story teaches that we should all put in our best effort, but it is just as essential to release our attachment to the outcome. True happiness comes from dedication and a peaceful mind, rather than worrying about success or failure. This approach not only helps us work more joyfully, but also bring calm and balance into our lives. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, hit like button, and for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.